In every class, there was always that kid that cheated, broke the rules, and passed the test. He performed really well. That's this bad boy. It breaks all sorts of rules, and Ed Buds, a fellow YouTube reviewer, has hyped it up. Why don't we have a look in my review of Adidas's Prime X Strung. Okay. My name is Aubrey. I'm a very average runner, simply trying to be less average by the day. And you know what? I'm going to be less average very soon because I just got myself a running coach and I'm putting in a lot of work. At the time of recording this, you've given me 3,215 subscribers. Thank you very much, sincerely. I appreciate it. If you're on Instagram, please add me on there. It'll be good to talk with you on anything to do with running or running shoes. And if you find this video entertaining, informative, or in any kind of ways educational, please consider subscribing. Let's get on with it. Let's start talking about this shoe with the 3 things you always need to know about, starting with the weight. In a 9.5 UK, which fits true to size, 280 grams, or 9.8 ounces. Second thing is the price. £230 is a lot of money to be asking for people, but I'm sure there's some discounts that you can find out there, because I certainly found one. And lastly, the stack height. Now this is what I was referring to when I talked about breaking the rules. If you check that out, you can see it looks like the Spice Girls came up with the design. The platform is very much Saturday Night Staying Alive. It says on there 50 mil. Now, the reason I say it breaks the rules, if you're an elite runner or someone who is trying to place on a podium or race for money, you can't use this shoe because the rules cap you at 40 mil. Like I said, this is 50 or 49.5 depending on where you're getting your numbers from. What is consistent is the drop is 8.5 from the back to the front. Okay, so let's break the shoe down. We're going to start from the top and work our way down a normal conversation. If we start at the heel, you can see that it's got this as a heel tab. Some places it's criticized, but I actually like it for helping you put your shoe on and off. When you talk about the rest of it, it's a very minimalistic design. It's got padding on either side of the heel. And to be honest, with the workout run that I did and an easy run that I didn't get any problems with heel slip. For me personally, I've got no complaints. I've seen a lot of people talk about what that heel is doing, but you know what, for me, I can only give you my view. I didn't come across any bad experiences with this shoe. I'm not going to fault the heel. I guess what I could fault is the tongue. It's not gusseted. There is some stitching, and I don't know if they've done a good job on this or not. I don't know how they've approached it this way, but it's not gusseted, meaning it's not attached in the inside of the shoe. The tongue is perforated, and I do like that Adios tag. The laces can feed through that. Nothing else to say about this tongue, to be honest. Apart from it not being gusseted, I don't think they could have done much else to make it better. So Adidas, no complaints there. But if I'm honest, if there is one thing I would criticize is the lacing system. For me, I prefer it to be simple. Holes in the shoe, put the laces through, done. It does feel like, depending on how tight you do the laces as you go, depending on your speed and distance, eventually it looks like, I'm not saying it has or it will, but it looks like these could definitely come apart. So for me, maybe for the next version, try and simplify the lacing system to simple holes. In my shoe reviews, I give credit where credit is due. And the Prime X Strung upper, the credit is due. The innovation, what they've done here is really, really cool. Basically, it's individual strands of string wrapping the whole shoe around, composing the upper. Now you will be able to see that the strings are actually running in different directions depending on what part of the upper is dealing with. So 2 things here, performance and aesthetics. In terms of aesthetics, this is one of the most exciting uppers I have seen, period. I love what they've done here. And in terms of performance, it performs just as good as it looks. That's just me being honest. My foot was held in securely. My workout consisted of some intervals. Very fast, at times slow, and through all those gear changes, this bad boy stuck with me. My foot felt really, really good. And the other thing that you will see in terms of breathability, there are holes spread all across this shoe. This, honestly, is a great touch. Okay, so now to the star of the show. It's the Midsole Bud. I love that guy, man. But anyway, on his review, he said that this shoe just makes running easy, and on the next day, you don't even feel like you went running. I was very surprised, and I have to agree with Ed Bud on this because my legs still felt fresh the next day. That's owing to two things. This stack height and the way they've composed this dual layer of the Light Strike Pro and the energy rods. For me initially, I thought 50 mil stack height, that's going to be unstable. But the carbon rods, as well as the energy plates that they've put in, and you can see these as you see the different light color through the outsole. I didn't feel like this was an unstable ride at all. Honestly, I'm blown away. Hold on, let me get close for this. So much so that this is challenging my Vaporfly 3 in terms of my number one shoe. I no longer don't know, because if a shoe is going to preserve my legs that much, immediately it stops being just an aesthetic thing. It stops being just max cushion or comforting. It becomes an actual running piece of equipment. This is that. Okay, let me calm down. Because I know I sound like I'm exaggerating, but I promise you, try it. It's going to be very polarizing. I'll be honest in saying that. You will either hate the shoe and go, what the heck did I just run in? That felt like I'm running on stilts. Or it's going to be a game changer. With that said, let's talk about the outsole. Now, I hyped up the Adios Pro 3 simply because of this continental rubber. The difference between this outsole and that one. With the Adios Pro 3, it's quite a smooth feeling outsole, even though it's as grippy as anything. What they've done in this one is you can see the lines through this outsole. It adds to that continental grip. And honestly, I'm just surprised at how well this performs. One thing I would love to see is if it stands the test of time. If it's anything like the Adios Pro 2 or 3, I'm assured it will. But I will definitely keep you updated on that. Okay, so who is this shoe for? Actually, what is this shoe for? For me, this is perfect for a race day. This is perfect for very speedy workouts or any workout where you know you want to save your legs a little bit. But be mindful because of the price. It's 230 pounds. So if you've got that extra money you want to use this as a daily trainer, you crack on. I wouldn't recommend it. The only other reason I wouldn't recommend it is that stack height. For some people, if you don't know or you're not used to running in this kind of shoe, you could easily get injured. Now, I'm not saying it'll injure you, but there's a learning curve to this type of running shoe, especially if you're taking it at a slower pace. There are much better shoes, much more affordable shoes if that's what you're after. Now, should you buy this shoe? Absolutely. Especially if you're trying to take up that pace, maybe race day kind of shoe, this is definitely that shoe. It definitely fails the Tesco test. From an aesthetic perspective, great. But this is not a shoe you want to be walking in. For those not too familiar, the Tesco test, would you wear this shoe doing normal everyday stuff? My answer to that is definitely not.